Hello, my name is Rachel Morrow. I'm a somatic and yoga therapist and a psychosocial spiritual guide working out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I wanted to share with you a little bit about how energy has impacted my life over the course of the last 6 years and how it's also strongly impacted the work that I do with my clients. So we all struggle to some varying degree of having limiting beliefs, these small loops that sometimes can be quite closed that are in our brain, the way that we see our world and the way that we see ourselves that are incorrect for whatever reason. Maybe they were placed on you by other people or culturally or the world that we live in. In a more potent way, many of us have suffered trauma, sometimes complex trauma or developmental trauma. And these things carry an energy with them. And the energy is low in vibration, and we feel this low energy in our body. And to help someone begin to know their limiting beliefs or to begin to feel and move beyond that feeling of being stuck, that energy has to move. The intention when we have a traumatic event or when we've had multiple traumatic events is to release those traumatic symptoms from our bodies and to be able to open the window of tolerance and to reclaim whatever was suppressed from that limiting belief and what was suppressed and stuck that couldn't be shown or couldn't be present because it wasn't safe at that time. And the only way to do that, the only way to reclaim and to change is to move the energy. Energy has to move. And I would imagine in your own life you've experienced being stuck, where you think that you've dealt with something for a long time, you've worked on it, and then it comes back. You cycle back to the same pattern over and over again. And that's the human experience. That's the way that we're conditioned to have these closed small loops in our brain that we continually come back to. And to a degree, analyzing and problem solving again is a low energy and can be useful and can be necessary at times. But what we also need to understand is that the energy that comes from the emotion has to be able to move out of our body. And even in a deeper level, understanding that when we start to try to move these energies and when we start to try to really look at the limiting beliefs in our lives, there is within our own human psyche this energy of resistance. So when I talk about energy, I think it's having a higher awareness of being able to open the window of tolerance and understanding and starting to feel in your body, having that body awareness of where is your energy right now. And so quite often, I don't know if it's just when you start to make change and we naturally have a natural set point and we want to come back to that set point, or if there is some sort of, darker aspect that will do anything it takes to keep someone stuck and in a lower vibrational energy. To help with some names that this energy has been called, the ego by Sigmund Freud, the shadow, Carl Jung, protector parts by internal family systems. But understanding first that this is there and that this energy is going to try to keep you stuck, is going to try to confuse you, is going to try to compress you, and is going to try to continue to make you feel small. And having some tools to come back to help you stay within your authentic state of being when, gosh, maybe in a small way that you're under attack by this lower vibrational energy. So when energy healers, which I don't consider myself an energy healer, But I do consider myself deeply skilled in embodiment and helping people begin to tap into their own body and the wisdom and the innate healing that's in their body. So when energy healers speak about energy, there's two polarities. I've spoken already about the low energy, and then there's a high energy. So low vibrational energy and then a high vibrational energy. So I'll start with the low one. The low vibrational energy, that feeling of being stuck, you're continually in that closed loop thinking where you're continually coming back to the same patterns over and over and over, no matter what disciplines you're bringing into your life, can feel very dull. It is analyzing, it's rationalizing, it's problem solving, which is very interesting because you think, well, I have to figure these problems out, but in fact, that keeps you at a low, dull vibrational energy. Quite interesting. It's forward thinking. It's always thinking, well, when this happens, then I'll be happy. When I have this figured out, then I'll be happy. In the body, it feels very contracted and tight, and it desires control for that false sense of safety, a strong sense of grasping either to the present, or excuse me, to the future, or even grasping and holding on to the past. It's like I said, it's mental, it's brainy, it's prefrontal cortex, and its design is to confuse and to keep someone in the state of resistance. It's low, it's internally instead of feeling open. So then I guess the polar of that would be the higher vibrational energy. And the higher vibrational energy is in the present moment. It is not concerned about what's going to happen in the future. It's not thinking about what's going on in the past. There's no grasping. You're not attached. How it feels in the body is open. Pure love. Pure love. Like you're basking in your authentic state of being. You're basking in God and in Tao. So we have the high vibrational energy, and then we have the low vibrational energy. And so in my earlier days of teaching yoga, I understood, the importance of having goals and of learning, and the belief of each person's inherent worth and gaining the tools that that you need or that I need to be able to make a substantial difference in our lives. I understood all this. I understood the importance of impermanence and the importance of not grasping and letting go. And then later in my formation, I understood the deep, deep healing that happens when you can authentically love yourself and be compassionate and accepting of yourself. And then that naturally comes out to others, and the most amazing healing that can happen for that. But there was still always this sense of being stuck, and my clients only getting so far. And I was able through yoga, through the deep study of yoga, to understand that when I started to incorporate the body, I was then linking and moving this energy through the body. So in the most simple terms, thinking of self-compassion. So perhaps mantras about self-compassion, or thinking about self-compassion, actions that are more self-compassion. But if we were to link movement of the body with breath that was compassionate, there'd be just a little bit more potency, and there'd be a little bit more neuroplasticity. That closed loop, that small loop in the brain, would then open more. So just an example of what that may look like would be, reading something about self-compassion, or having someone recite a mantra that's authentic to them, having someone choose something that's compassionate or accepting to them. and having them have opening in their chest. Sounds so simple, but in that opening there's space, and that higher vibrational energy feels open. So you're literally opening your body to a higher vibrational energy. And then you could add another layer if it was appropriate, with maybe a breath or a longer exhale out. Things like letting go. How do we let go? We know we need to up here, but something just naturally catapults us just to hold and grip. So just practicing whatever you want to let go and letting go in your body. And creating these neural pathways that would allow someone throughout their daily life, as things came up for them and they would feel the effects of traumatic stress or the effects in their bodies, because they're already enhancing body awareness, they would feel these negative things happening in their body, and they wouldn't close down. They wouldn't be trapped in the subconscious. They'd recognize them. And they would be able to make subtle changes. Maybe it would be, oh, I remembered when I opened my chest, and they would just take a deeper breath in and they'd open their chest. It seems so small, but throughout the course of the day, these tiny little things would begin to add up, and it was just powerful, just so powerful. So helping people getting out of the narrative, out of the prefrontal cortex, out of the stories that they're trapped in, and getting them just into their bodies more and more and more. It just seems so counterintuitive, but it works because nothing changes until energy moves. It just doesn't. So helping people get the energy of that stress out of their body, and then we can figure it out later. So powerful. So what I wanted to just do for you is just to give you a little bit of a taste, that, an exercise that you might be able to do, and hopefully on a daily basis, that can start to increase your energy. Hopefully it would allow you to notice when you're in more of a lower vibrational state, and help give you more energy, and be able to recognize, oh, I'm in a low vibrational state, and what can I do to get myself in a higher vibrational state? So this exercise will take about 5 minutes. So if you have time, please feel free to join me. So something that we work foundationally on at Grand Rapids Healing Yoga here in Michigan is grounding. We call it an anchor point. There's so many grounding techniques: tapping, even just touching your body, exhaling, connecting your body to any part on the floor, muscular contractions. These are just to name a few. Using walls, anything that you have that can help you feel connected to the ground, and that energy, that low vibrational energy that continually wants to move up and wants to get trapped in the mind, creating scatteredness and confusion. We want to move that down, down, down. So really, really potent. So we're going to start there. I'm going to actually have you close your eyes and take a moment to feel your body. And then perhaps bring awareness to your feet and your legs and your hips, and feel the literal contact with the floor.